memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
During a storm, your safety is priority number one. Stay indoors and away from windows and avoid going outside. Keep a flashlight handy and tune in to all official updates. Never use candles. They are a fire risk. Stay calm, stay connected, stay safe.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at stories making news tonight. Minister Moxie unveiling a new initiative designed to create more opportunities for local artists. Also, the Ministry of National Security hosting a seminar aimed at strengthening the private security sector. And the Grand Bahama Power Company prepares for higher electricity demands as the summer heat intensifies.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Topping news, culture is taking center stage in Grand Bahama's economic development plans. During her contribution to the 2026-2027 budget debate, Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, outlining plans for Island Impression, a new cultural experience designed to create opportunities for local artists, entrepreneurs, and small businesses. Raven Davis has tonight's top story.
Island Impression is being developed as a new cultural experience at the Grand Bahama Arts and Crafts Center, what officials describe as a space that will bring together tradition, tourism, and economic opportunity. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says the initiative is being advanced through a partnership between her ministry, the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, and the Department of Agriculture.
It will create an authentic Bahamian cultural experience while opening new opportunities for artisans, performers, entrepreneurs, vendors, and small businesses.
When complete, the site will be transformed into an immersive cultural destination featuring live entertainment, artists and vendors, authentic Bahamian cuisine, and interactive cultural displays. Officials say the goal is to create a year-round attraction that benefits both residents and visitors, while providing local artists, craftsmen, and entrepreneurs with greater access to economic opportunities.
This project is expected to support approximately 60 small and medium-sized enterprises, artisans, performers, and vendors. Island Impression will diversify Grand Bahama's tourism product, increase visitor engagement, encourage local spending, and strengthen the creative economy. This is culture becoming commerce.
Meanwhile, the ministry is also moving forward with plans for the Fishing Hole Cultural Village. She says the first phase of that project will focus on food truck operators and culinary entrepreneurs, creating a vibrant hub for food, entertainment, and community events.
The Cultural Village will also feature entertainment spaces for festivals, concerts, cultural performances, and community events. Together with Island Impression, this project forms part of a broader strategy to encourage visitors to explore beyond the cruise ports, engage with local businesses, and experience authentic Bahamian culture.
Now, with July marked as the target launch period for Island Impression, officials believe both projects will help turn Grand Bahama's rich cultural heritage into a year-round economic engine. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Well, meantime, the Ministry of National Security Private Sector Service Unit held its annual workshop in Grand Bahama at the Pelican Bay Hotel. The seminar bringing together various agencies under the theme Striving Together for Excellence in 2026 and beyond. Officials say the aim is to bring a clearer understanding of the laws, responsibilities, and professional standards that guide the industry.
The Sector Security Service Unit realized that there was some deficiency in getting information to security guards. So we decided this year to bring this seminar to Grand Bahama in order to really strengthen the security services in Grand Bahama. We want to make sure that everyone, every security guard, are aware of the laws that govern the Act for Security Guards and inquiry agent within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
In his new role as Minister of National Security, the Honorable Miles LaRota encouraging participants to remain committed to professionalism, reminding them that private security officers are often among the people Bahamians encounter during emergencies. This seminar highlighted continued collaboration between the ministry and the private security sector as officials work to strengthen standards across the industry.
The Ministry of National Security is taking decisive steps to modernize and strengthen the regulatory framework governing this industry. To date, the unit collected over $156,000 in license fees through strengthened compliance enforcement. We canceled 152 companies not licensed in 5 or more years and removed over 250 unlicensed freelance guards from the industry. We are protecting the public. And protecting compliant companies from unfair competition.
While in other news, the Grand Bahama Power Company says it is heading into the summer months better prepared to meet increased electricity demand. With its baseload generation units now fully online and backup generators in place, officials say the utility has learned from last year's challenges and is taking proactive steps to improve reliability. Our Shalia Roll has the details.
Grand Bahama Power Company is summer ready. Our baseload plant, which is our Peel Street plant, is online and available.
With summer temperatures rising and electricity demand expected to increase, the Grand Bahama Power Company says it is prepared to meet the challenge. Chief Operations Officer Nikita Mulling says the utility has completed critical maintenance on its baseload generation at the Peel Street Power Station. However, she says scheduled maintenance is still underway on the company's dispatch plant.
Currently in the process of completing maintenance on our West Sunrise plant, which is our dispatch plant, and able to strengthen and enhance our availability and capacity of those generation units.
Power reliability during the summer months has been a growing concern for Grand Bahamians in recent years. But with annual maintenance now underway, the Grand Bahama Power Company says it is better prepared to meet increased electricity demand and maintain a more reliable supply this summer.
We also have temporary generators that is able to be a standby and our reserve to ensure we're able to meet summer demand.
According to Mullings, GBPC is in a far stronger position than it was this time last year. She says one of the biggest lessons learned for 2024 was the need to secure temporary generation well before the summer peak. As a result, backup power is now in place to help meet demand should the need arise.
Our baseload plant, which is Peel Street, was not available. And so being in a different position with having had maintenance completed on those and being currently active in maintenance on our dispatch plant, which is our West Sunrise plant, we are ready for summer season.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
All right, that's good news there. Well, hard work is paying off for dozens of Grand Bahama students after a standout performance from a local high school. When expectations were low, results were high. We take a look behind the numbers and what it means to experience such a milestone. Intern Darissa Ferguson reports.
Many determined students shared one common goal, earning their high school diploma. As graduation ceremonies wrapped up across the northern Bahamas, one Grand Bahama school stood out, posting some of the strongest graduation results on the island.
Faith Times, Wildcat Pride Award, Service Award, and the Senior Mistress Award for Leadership.
On June 11th, 100 students from Jack Hayward Senior High School received their diplomas after successfully meeting all graduation requirements. Principal Melissa Cooper says she's proud of the milestone, which reflects the hard work of the students, teachers, and the entire school community.
It feels great. It's a team effort that the students would have done well this year. Last year we would have had a 71%, and our goal was to go to 75.
While the vast majority of students earned their diplomas, a small number did not meet the requirements for graduation. Still, Principal Melissa Cooper says the school's overall performance is an achievement worth celebrating.
And so what has happened is what we have seen is the few students who didn't make it, it was things like they didn't complete their community service, and that's something you would say, hey man, you could get that. Or they missed the attendance. And so it's now 80%. But if you've been absent frequently, you don't have any doctor's notes, you don't have anything from your parents, you don't have anything to say, but this is the deal. You just continue to be frequently absent, that can cost you. So we had a few students there. And then, of course, there's something called job readiness. Job readiness you will receive when you do family life. So for the grade 12 year, the first term and the second term, you have to get a C or above in family life. And then you would consider getting that 20 hours or whatever it is, 20% for the job readiness. And so we would have seen a fall off in that area. And there were just a small number, believe it or not, of students who had below the 2.0. It may have been, and I don't want to misquote, but maybe 5 or 6. It was not that many.
Teachers and staff applaud the students for their hard work and outstanding performance, saying their achievements have positioned many of them to pursue scholarship opportunities both locally and internationally. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Darissa Ferguson.
Well, heading into news from the crime beat, Grand Bahama Police seized an illegal firearm in the Smiths Point area on Thursday, June 25th, 2026. Initial police reports indicate that officers of the Criminal Investigations Department made the discovery shortly after 10 a.m. after searching a bushy area where they found the illegal firearm. The weapon, which was heavily corroded due to prolonged exposure to the elements, contained no ammunition. No arrests have been made in connection with this incident. However, investigations continue.
And still to come.
The government's youth summer employment program kicks off. Stay with us. That story, sports, and more when we come back.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Some call it the best day of the year, while others call it Father's Day. On June 26th and 27th, Dolly Madison is having a post-Father's Day sale. Get 25% off store-wide, but get an extra 5% off all fishing gear and the entire tool section in aisle 1. That's 30% off for all the things fathers love. Spend $100 or more for a chance to win the Mystery Box raffle, which will be drawn on June 27th at noon. Open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Dolly Madison.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Do It Center's end-of-month two-day sale, Friday, June 26th and Saturday, June 27th, 20% store-wide. 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Do It Center, end-of-the-month 20% sale. This Friday and Saturday, don't miss the bargain. The Lucaya Service Company, Lusco, wishes to advise residents and motorists that the Sir Jack Haywood Bridge will be temporarily closed from Monday, June 29th through Tuesday, July 7th to facilitate routine maintenance and repair works. During this period, the bridge will be inaccessible to both vehicular and pedestrian traffic. Motorists are encouraged to plan ahead and utilize alternate routes where available. These repairs are part of their ongoing commitment to maintaining safe and reliable infrastructure for the residents and visitors of Grand Bahama. Lusco apologizes for any inconvenience and appreciates your patience and cooperation while these essential works are completed. CompuSec Printing is making room for summer with a massive store-wide sale. Get 30% off in stock items only now through July 31st. Save on shirts, hats, souvenirs, flags, indoor flagpoles, and more. Visit CompuSec Printing, West Atlantic Drive, Freeport. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturdays, 9 to 2. Grace Bible Fellowship Church invites the public to its 39th church anniversary service Sunday, June 28th at 11 a.m. at Nansen Avenue. Celebrating 39 years of unfailing faithfulness with guest speaker, Pastor Emeritus Reverend Audley L. Swain. All are welcome.
Hey, I'm a big deal. I'm a 19-foot Panga boat fishing package, complete with engine, trailer, and accessories. So pull up, hook up, and drop me in the ocean and let's work. Just in time for lobster season.
Fresh oil, fresh fire. Join the School of Prophetic Ministry Hawksville for 2 Holy Ghost-filled nights of crusade, July 13th and 14th, 2026 at 7:30 Night Place. Guest speaker will be Bishop Steve Daniels of Shallow Missionary Baptist Church, Minnesota. Fresh oil, fresh fire crusade, July 13th and 14th at the School of Prophetic Ministry. See you there.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. The annual summer employment program is once again opening doors for Grand Bahamas youth, and as students prepare to begin work across the island, many will be stepping into the workforce for the very first time. Organizers say the experience is intended to lay out the foundation for future employment. Our Sherelle Dames has more in this report.
It's an opportunity for Grand Bahamas high school and college students to gain workplace experience through the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Heritage, along with the Ministry of Youth and Sports Summer Employment Program. Now, officials say the program's focus extends beyond simply earning a paycheck. Their goal is to help young people develop habits, discipline, and workplace skills needed for long-term success.
We just want to make sure that they have a great experience and that they take a whole lot away from these programs. We really try to encourage parents, even during the intake periods, to just take a step back, because truthfully, we're not hiring the parents, we're actually hiring the young people. And so we want them to see what it is like to be employed, have to go and do an interview for employment. We encourage children to go get their own bank books, because we refuse to pay to the parents' bank account. It has to go to the child's bank account.
The employment program runs from July 6th to the 31st and is open to students ages 15 through 25. Lachey Dorset, cultural officer, encourages students who would hope to be a part of next year's cohort to be diligent in getting qualifications.
They're in different categories. We have those who are no qualifications, BJC, BGCSEs, and college qualifications. And so it ranges from $500 a month to up to $800 per month. It's very important to encourage persons to get their qualifications while they're young and while they're in school, especially moving forward with different organizations. We have found that most of the organizations are asking for persons and are asking for young persons who are qualified.
And these senior high school students shared why they signed up for the program and what they hope to gain from the experience.
I'm actually hoping to work in the office area so I can get more experience there.
Just the experience and getting to meet new people, because I rarely leave the house and all.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sherelle Dames.
Well, 56 law enforcement Bibles and 24 firefighter Bibles were donated to support the men and women who serve our communities every day. Organizers say the donation is about providing encouragement, hope, and spiritual strength to first responders as they carry out their duties and support those in need.
So today, we are making a special presentation of Bibles, which have been especially created and published for law enforcement officers and firefighters.
There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of crisis that goes on in law enforcement, and so many times we just kind of, expect our officers to go through those things and manage it because, hey, we're law enforcement officers.
The greatest weapon we can possess in our lives, first of all, is to know the Lord Jesus Christ and then to understand His Word.
The donation presented by the Assemblies of God North Bahamas Cluster is aimed at supporting the mental health and overall well-being of law enforcement officers and firefighters. Organizers also say they hope the resources will help first responders navigate the emotional challenges that often come with their duties.
What I encourage is daily meditation on a personal level, and then what we also encourage from a station level that divisional commanders would endorse either daily or weekly meditation of officers who continually work 24-hour shifts, that before they go out on duty, that they would pick a passage of scripture that is suitable to them. On behalf of Commissioner Shanton Knowles, I graciously accept this lovely donation of Bibles to the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
We salute our Facebook friend of the day, Joelle and Eloise Roberts. Congratulations on your anniversary. I believe it's 68. Congratulations. And that is going to do it for this portion of the news. Be sure to stay tuned. Sports is up next with Shane Stubbs.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investments, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody
does it better.
It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to our first Hardware and Home Expo.
CIBC Caribbean is here. We're happy to be a sponsor of this event, and of course, we're looking forward to year number 2.
We just want to introduce the community to our new product and service, Advertisements Solutions.
We are Acacia Groves, and the parent company is San Jose Construction.
So we're just here for persons who want some sort of legal advice.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at zns3news@gmail.com.
Grand Bahama, get ready for the annual Welcoming Home Grand Expo presented by the Ministry for Grand Bahama. July 1st through 10th, experience music, culture, business, sports, and unforgettable celebrations all across the island. Mark your calendars and go to welcominghomegb.com for more information. Calling all musicians, songwriters, and producers from Grand Bahama, enter the Welcoming Home Grand Bahama Song Competition for a chance to win up to $5,000. The theme is My Island, My Home. Deadline midnight, June 29th. Go to welcominghomegb.com for competition guidelines.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you gain. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777, and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Welcome to the ZNS Total Sports Cave, everyone. I'm Shane Stubbs. The City of Freeport Council's basketball camp is in full swing, and our intern Patrick Bain has all the details.
As school is closed for the summer,
the Freeport City Council is hosting yet another basketball camp, as they have been doing for a number of years. Their plan is to teach, train, and inspire upcoming athletes.
We focus on the fundamentals of basketball, which is passing, dribbling, and shooting. And so for the past 3 days, we've been at St. George's Gymnasium from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. working on those aspects of the game.
We spoke with a few campers who are excited to learn from their coaches and peers.
It just helps with, fundamental things like scoring and dribbling and just, being a better basketball player.
I really enjoy working with, the boys, because not much girls really play basketball like that. So I feel like the boys will help me push myself in there more.
It's been good. I've been learning new ways how to play basketball and stuff.
This upcoming week, the campers will get to showcase their talents at the Island Life Invitational Tournament that will be held from June 29th to July 3rd. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm intern Patrick Bain.
The Mateo King Father's Day Basketball Classic tips off Saturday, June 27th at the St. George's Gymnasium. The fathers will take on the sons, the top barbers go head-to-head, and the record drivers will take on the mechanics.
We gifted the fathers the win for the past 4 years. I just feel bad for the dad this year.
They never win, and they ain't gonna win this year. If this young boy who I born beat me, I'll cut my hair.
This ain't even no competition, to tell you the truth. We went in with one shot. I thought, they score over 10 points, that's a plus for them.
They only talking. We ain't worrying with them. They only talking. You see, you only lift weights. He ain't got no legs.
Just like to let the records know, if they do win, the records better stay up for the whole year, because there ain't no mechanic work going on the records. Understand me?
They best don't break down. You best don't need a record, because record fee just gone double for mechanics for the whole year.
Meanwhile, the Blazer Elite Dragons closed out their run at the AS Euro Tournament with a 71-59 win over Zaldua. Ashley Williams led the way with 23 points and 9 rebounds, while Romeo Higgs finished with 18 points, 7 boards, and 3 steals. Caden Forbes added 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 assists. Forbes was also named to the All-Tournament team and earned MVP honors. And that's my time, everyone, but your local forecast is next. I'm Shane Stubbs. Catch you all next week.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Fresh oil, fresh fire. Join the School of Prophetic Ministry Hawksville for 2 Holy Ghost-filled nights of crusade, July 13th and 14th, 2026 at 7:30 nightly. Guest speaker will be Bishop Steve Daniels of Shallow Missionary Baptist Church, Minnesota. Fresh oil, fresh fire crusade, July 13th and 14th at the School of Prophetic Ministry. See you there.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Registration is open for the Welcoming Home Grand Bahama Race and Health Fair on Saturday, July 4th. The race begins at 6 a.m. at the Ministry of Grand Bahama in the Harold de Gregory Building. Walk, run, or bike to win grand prizes. Sign up today at welcominghomegb.com.
Put it in.
Let's keep it clean.
Yeah. Put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. No, yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not on the streets. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye. Put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it, put it in the trash. Just put it in the trash. Put it in the trash, that's it. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah, just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah, we just gotta keep Grand Bahama clean.
Your number one team in the north. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Is it me or did the week go by extremely quick? That is going to do it for us here in the north. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for watching. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next. Have a good day.
At Rawson and Parliament Square for the Independence Beat Retreat. Celebrate the 53rd anniversary of Bahamian independence with an evening of culture, entertainment, and spectacular performances. The Cultural Village opens at 3:30 p.m., showcasing the best of the Bahamas. We'll see you there.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, celebrations in order as the country marks a key achievement in its fight against a potentially deadly disease. Plus, key findings of the population size and distribution. And wounded and unresponsive. Police look into the case of a body discovered in Yellow Elder Gardens just this morning. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. The Bahamas is celebrating a major milestone in its fight against HIV. Health leaders announcing today the country has surpassed one of the United Nations global HIV targets years ahead of schedule. But as our Lal Maycock reports, they said the work is far from over.
Regional HIV Testing Day brought hundreds to R.M. Bailey Park. But the biggest announcement wasn't the event itself. Health officials revealing the Bahamas has now exceeded the United Nations target of having 95% of people living with HIV know their status. Director of the National HIV/AIDS and Infectious Disease Program, Dr. Nakia Forbes, says the country has reached 96%.
We're happy to share with you that as it relates to our targets, we are currently at 96% of people living with HIV knowing their HIV status. We have about 81% of those people on medication, but we have a big way to go. We want to get up to 95%. And then of those people who are on medication, they're doing extremely well. 98% of those on medication have achieved that undetectable viral load, which is the gold standard of HIV care.
While the milestone marks a significant step forward, health leaders say the focus is now shifting to getting more people into care. Free HIV testing, counseling, and new at-home oral HIV self-tests were offered throughout the day, giving Bahamians more options to learn their status early. Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darvo, says early detection continues to save lives.
It's good to know your status because the early detection is always the best solution. But one of the things we're featuring is the quick test, the oral quick test, which is also a new tool that is available for our team where you can actually pick up the quick test. You can go home and check your status. You can go to our pharmacy and buy one of the approved kits so that you can be detected or you can be tested. And once you find out whether you have a positive or negative test, then you can communicate directly with our team.
The announcement comes just months after the World Health Organization certified the Bahamas for eliminating mother-to-child transmission of HIV. Another milestone health officials say reflects years of investment in prevention, testing, and treatment. But they stress that reaching international targets does not mean the fight against HIV is over.
Any HIV infection is preventable to some degree, right? So knowing the facts on HIV and AIDS transmission, getting to know your status, of course, risk reduction, minimizing multiple partners without condom use. Condoms are very effective. Lubricants, water-based lubricants, and we have medications like HIV PrEP.
Health leaders say the Bahamas has positioned itself as a regional leader in the fight against HIV, and the goal now is to expand prevention and continue to reduce new infections. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lyle Maycock.
Well, still talking health, we've entered the next phase of a partnership aimed at transforming healthcare and medical training here in the Bahamas. We go now to our Lloyd Allen for the story.
3 agreements, 1 shared vision. This setting into motion for the University of the West Indies 4-year medical school. And this now that UWI has inked a new partnership, the 3rd such agreement with the Ministry of Health and the Public Hospitals Authority. The 2-year deal paves the way for not only support and resources, but a new era in tertiary medical studies here in the Bahamas. Health and Wellness Minister, Dr. the Honorable Michael Darville.
We approached UWI Mona campus to look into the possibility of a 4-year program here in the Bahamas, and that is embedded in the agreement we signed today. Bahamas is moving into the construction of 2 brand new tertiary healthcare facilities in the amount just over $600 million. And it's important for us to have trained individuals in the country. We also know that the model that we want to put in place is a teaching hospital.
UWI's Mona Campus Principal and Pro Vice Chancellor Denzel Williams welcomes the opportunity, but adds a number of resources will need to be put in place.
This will be good news for us, but critically, we would have to make sure that we have the right skill set to manage those facilities, including our professors, including all the necessary things that are required for offering high-quality medical education.
He adds that the proposed plan would not only benefit Bahamian medical students, but others throughout the region.
This region really has the lowest level of post-secondary employment enrollment anywhere across the world. We are roughly about 30%, and we need to increase that in a substantial way. And so ventures like these, I think, are right, heading in the right direction.
For Minister Darville, the continued partnership with UWI is directly linked to building the medical personnel inventory for the country.
The University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine is responsible for assisting the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to ensure that we have the trained medical personnel for a healthcare system that is not only in Nassau and Grand Bahama, but throughout the archipelago.
As plans continue to take shape, stakeholders say the partnership could redefine both medical education and patient care, signaling a strategic investment in the future of healthcare for the Bahamas. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Thanks, Lloyd. The Cancer Society of the Bahamas is expanding its support for cancer patients with a new $5 million facility. Ground was today broken on the project, slated for completion mid-2027. More than a new building, the expansion represents hope for patients and their families while reinforcing the Society's commitment to care and support. President Rochelle Wilkinson states that this further extends its reach to more cancer patients in need.
This project represents more than bricks and mortar. It represents expanded care, enhanced support services, and renewed commitment to every individual and every family facing cancer.
Founder Sarah Roberts reflects on the remarkable growth of the organization, a cause that started with a simple vision that evolved into a vital source of hope and support for so many.
Buying this building was major. So, you know, and then to build the Cancer Caring Center was incredible. And now it's very exciting.
It's unfortunate that some people don't have that community. And so a facility like this fills in that gap, steps in and able to help persons, you know, speak life into them, care for them. And so the atmosphere is always a wholesome one that breathes life and energy back into patients. And
also making news tonight amid renewed scrutiny of the sex offenders register and its availability to the public, the Social Services Minister is standing firmly beside recent comments made by the director of the Bahamas Crisis Center. She shared her thoughts with our Cleopatra Murphy.
Minister of Social Services Senator the Honorable Barbara Cartwright fears a public sex offenders register could spark vigilantism. The minister's comments come on the sidelines of a parenting forum hosted by the Bahamas Crisis Center, whose director, Dr. Sandra Dean Patterson, has faced public backlash for her stance in favor of a private register as it presently is.
If persons know that a sex offender is next door, I'm sure there'll be problems. So I think it really should be restricted to certain ministries or certain groups of persons.
Dean Patterson reasons that unlike larger countries like the U.S., due to the country's small size, it does not have the ability to identify sex offenders and have them someplace where they're not going to hurt children. Cartwright agrees, defending her stance for select bodies like law enforcement and social services to be informed in the public interest.
We need to know where they are for our own safety, because sometimes persons never stop. They continue, they may have gone in jail, they didn't have the proper training or that they need, and so they come out and they commit the same crime.
Minister of Social Services calls the sexual assault of a 91-year-old by a family member Wednesday alarming. It's one of the reasons she says government is introducing the elderly bill that will address various instances of elder abuse.
I have a 93-year-old mom who lives mainly alone, but I worry about her a lot. We have to put in laws to protect our elderly, and that's what we're doing, because even family members have no issue in hurting their elderly because they don't think it matters anymore.
There's also the recent sexual assault of two teenage girls, one by 3 males known to her on Sunday and a 16-year-old by a male known to her Tuesday, which she also finds concerning. She says trauma can linger for years, showing up in the workplace or relationships.
We have to talk about it, like I said. We have to tell our friends about it. We have to be alert. We have to be responsible as well. You know, you just can't be, I'm not blaming us for, going through the town in certain clothes or certain times of the night. I'm not blaming us, but I'm saying we have to also look out for ourselves and do what is necessary to protect ourselves as well.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
In other news tonight, the Bahamas National Statistical Institute putting out its latest figures, giving a better understanding of the country's population shift. No surprise, the country is growing. But as Corval Pyfrom reports, it's also seeing some surprising shifts.
Most of the country's larger islands saw an increase in their population sizes between 2010 and 2022. New Providence in 2022 had a population of 296,732, up by 50,000 from 2010 when it stood at 246,329. The 2022 figure shows there were 14,337 males here in New Providence, up from 2010's 117,911. Females in 22 were 155,395, up from 128,418 a decade earlier. Eleuthera, Exuma, Andros, and Acklands all saw their populations grow as well. Eleuthera's 2012 census count puts the figure now at 9,104, up from 8,202 in 2010. Exuma in 2022 was 7,287 to 2010, 6,928. Acklands, with less than 1,000 in its population, grew from 565 in 2010 to 676 in 2022. And Andros in 2022 counted a population of 7,695 from 7,490 in 2010. The numbers compiled in the Census of Population and Housing Fourth Release All-Island Report from the Bahamas National Statistical Institute also shows that populations actually decreased on two major islands, Grand Bahama and Abaco. Grand Bahama in 2010 had a population size of 51,368, but in 2022 it dropped to 46,740. The male population in 2010 stood at 24,993 and fell to 22,361 a decade later. The female population also decreased in 2022 to 24,379 from 26,375 in 2010. In Abaco, its 2022 population stood at 16,695, down from 17,224 in 2010. Males there were 8,987 in 2022, an actual increase from 2010's 8,902, while the female population on Abaco decreased to 7,708 in 2022 from 8,322 in 2010. The decline in population on those two islands might be largely a result of Hurricane Dorian, which devastated both places in 2019. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pfeiffer.
Meantime, a look back at the average price Bahamians paid for goods and services in March. The latest consumer price index shows the inflation rate that month increased by 0.35% compared to February. Figures show that the largest increases were in clothing and footwear at 2.7%, transport at 1.8%, and health at 0.5%. The largest decrease, meantime, was seen in furnishings, household equipment, and routine household maintenance at 2.1%. Now, if we were to compare numbers, the consumer price index increased by 3.1% this March compared to the same period, March 2025. Statisticians found that the primary categories contributing to the upswing were restaurants and hotels at 17.6%, furnishings, household equipment, and routine household maintenance at 8.5%, and the housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels category, which rose by 4.4%. On the opposite end of things, alcoholic beverages, tobacco, and narcotics dropped by 6.7%. Coming up, a major overhaul of the Bahamas Parks and Public Beaches Authority. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and everybody watching from Nassau. Tonight, we welcome a star. So please join me in welcoming the barbecue rap star, star of the show!
KFC, it's finger licking good.
June 28th at Rawson and Parliament Square for the Independence Beat Retreat. Celebrate the 53rd anniversary of Bahamian independence with an evening of culture, entertainment, and spectacular performances. The Cultural Village opens at 3:30 p.m., showcasing the best of the Bahamas. We'll see you there.
Tasha, what you saying? Girl, right here, rushing the cash, J.S. Johnson. I gotta renew my insurance. Oh, I with JSJ too, but I don't wait in line. I just pay online. Stop it. How you do that?
Just email info@jsjohnson.com and say, sign me up for the online service center. They'll reach out and hook you up. You ain't never have to stand in line again.
Amen to that.
Save time. Pay online. Sign up for J.S. Johnson's online service center today.
Insurance, peace of mind. 50 years of nation building. See the legacy we trust. Oh, the water is our lifeline, and the future flows through us. From the pine barrens to the ocean, in the sun and in the dust, we are building for tomorrow, and the future flows through us. Yeah, yeah. Yes, the future flows through us.
The Water and Sewage Corporation, celebrating 50 years of nation building.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the annual Pre-Independence Beat Retreat. Don't miss this exciting event celebrating 53 years of Bahamian independence.
You're looking at a shot there of traffic on the Tony William Starling Highway, one of the capital's busiest thoroughfares. That shot courtesy of Shane Gibson. Welcome back. Detectives quick not to jump to conclusions, but for now, they're suspecting foul play in the case of a man whose body was found before 8 this morning in the area of Melbourne Road, Yellow Elder Gardens. Police press liaison officer, Chief Superintendent Sharia King, confirming to the media that the man, believed to be in his mid-30s, had visible wounds to the upper body. The matter, she said, is being investigated as a suspicious death.
When officers responded, along with EMS, they discovered an adult male with no vital signs and visible injuries to the upper body. Because we have limited information in this matter, we're asking anyone with any information concerning this matter to please contact the police and provide that information to us.
Well, funeral services, whose directors have for years operated largely without a dedicated regulatory framework, that, however, may soon change as new legislation seeks to bring long-awaited oversight and accountability to the industry while addressing the issue of fraudulent operators. Lloyd Allen takes it from here.
Stop and desist. It's not necessary, and it is casting a bad light on all of us.
A warning going to fake funeral home operators coming from the president of the Bahamas Funeral Directors Association, Kirsch Ferguson. For years, Ferguson has agitated for the introduction of legislation and standardized regulations to govern the funeral service industry, which he has been a part of for more than 3 decades. The most recent burial blunder reported last week, where a body was cremated instead of being prepared for burial, causing added grief to the family involved and raising questions on practices at mortuaries and crematoriums nationally.
We have personnel who are assisting funeral homes as either couriers of transporters of bodies and also persons who liaise with funeral homes to orchestrate cremations and or burial. It is unfortunate that that mix-up occurred. It should have not occurred. But at the same time, we have persons in the industry who are not given oversight of what they're doing because they're not licensed.
Ferguson says the time has come for the formalization of best practices to be etched into law.
Starting off with legislation and regulation of the industry. Number 2, standardization of our practices for health concerns and also for the need of consumer protection to eliminate this need for price gouging.
From the Directors Association, challenges have also surfaced regarding payment of some services.
There was a major complaints lodged by several funeral homes who are engaged with removing of homicide cases and the delay in payment from the Bahamas government.
While there has been progress, Ferguson says the promised advancement committed to by State Minister in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Owen Wells, is news those in the industry have waited on for decades.
There is light at the end of the tunnel, and that we are getting the progress that was promised to us from over 20 years ago.
Minister Wells did not detail when the bill will be tabled, whether penalties will be levied against unlicensed operators, or which agency would be responsible for enforcing the proposed standards. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Minister of Innovation and National Development, the Honorable Sebastian Bastian, says as he takes on that new portfolio, a number of preparatory steps are being taken to provide a solid foundation of best practices and legal framework to support the country's digital identification thrust.
Technology legislation that we're looking to bring forward to that's going to require, as it relates to government's technology, bringing the sovereignty back to the country, and that means having sovereignty over our technology stack and having sovereignty over our data as a founding principle. So we'll be looking to retroactively make sure that any contracts that we have will adhere to certain interoperable standards and software integration compliance on the payment side as well. In addition, the full team is also working on a lot of the policy work and the research work in and around the digital identification, as well as working with the National Development Secretariat as we try to finalize our draft for that bill. And then also we've already started analyzing and doing the research of best practice and benchmarks on how we're going to look at the digital identification legislation.
Minister Bastian adding that there is ongoing dialogue with international partners to better script a creator-friendly marketplace that's beneficial to both content creators and users.
Prior to the election, we had a content influencer summit down at Bahamas, and it's really we're working and doing some of the work on that to finish the conversations with the platforms like Meta and YouTube to bring the monetization opportunity to the Bahamas for the content creators.
A major overhaul of the Bahamas Parks and Public Beaches Authority underway. The agency responsible for maintaining the country's public parks, beaches, and green spaces is embarking on a modernization drive aimed at improving public spaces, strengthening security, and increasing accountability. And the initiative began today as more than 100 employees participated in the authority's first staff development seminar. It's the first step in what the authority's executive chair, Jamal Strawn, described as a new era for the organization.
This is a journey that requires all of us to come together, to collaborate, and to embrace the challenges ahead. The Bahamas Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority has a straightforward yet vital mandate to ensure that the public spaces entrusted to our care are clean, are safe, attractive, and accessible for everyone. These spaces are not just areas we maintain. They are the heart and soul of our communities. Our parks serve as gathering places for family, where you would know laughter occurs, where you would know memories are made. Our beaches are more than just stretches of sand. They are the backdrop for countless cherished moments. And our roadsides, roundabouts, and public green spaces form the impression many visitors have of our beautiful nation.
This portion of the news is brought to you by folk called Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
When the craving hits, there's only one thing everybody agrees on. Hot, crispy, Wendy's chicken tenders. Made to satisfy every bite. Whether it's served as a slider or wrap, it's always perfectly seasoned, perfectly crunchy, and always cooked fresh. From lunch with friends to family moments worth sharing. For chicken tenders you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Get ready! This June 27th, YBE Promotion and Excalibur Entertainment presents The Season of Love Part 2 R&B Edition on the lawn of the National Stadium ground with performances by Get ready for Joe. It's Joe performing live. Come and experience the undeniable voice of Kelly Price. Kelly Price comes to Nassau. Bahamas own Nashi LS Fan Shaw is Jimmy Cossier. The legendary Brian McKnight. This will be an ultimate night of love. Saturday, June 27th on the lawn of the National Stadium ground. Tickets on sale now at Classy Cuts Hair and Nail Beauty Supply or online at YBEpromotions.com. For info, Skybox and VIP packages, call 242-427-8111 or 242-357-0116. Be there.
Marco's Pizza. Marco's Pizza. Some never tasted so good. Marco's
Summer Party is bringing the fun. Choose 2 large one-topping pizzas with a 2-liter soda for just $34.95. Or grab a big square deal, 1 medium, 1-topping pizzas with boneless wings for just $39.95. Enter to win weekly Baja Bay water passes and your very own Marco's Summer Party pack all summer long. Marco's Pizza, summer never tasted so good.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Their stories didn't begin with success, but they refused to let hardship write the ending. The Fox Foundation honored 20 Bahamian men whose resilience is helping shape a stronger Bahamas. Desmond Saunders attended the black tie event at Bahamar.
Fox Foundation celebrated 20 outstanding Bahamian men during its 3rd annual Legacy of Leaders ceremony at Bahamar. This year's theme, The Power of Second Chances, From Setback to Comeback, recognized men who overcame adversity and turned their experiences into leadership, service, and lasting impact across the Bahamas. Founder of the Fox Foundation, Adrian Fox.
We have to encourage people that has bad tragedies in their life when they're young, to build them up and make them stronger so that they could become better human beings and better people in society.
The honorees represented every corner of Bahamian life, from business and sports to medicine and community development. But this year, their greatest achievement wasn't simply success. It was overcoming the odds, embracing a second chance, and using their experiences to lift others.
Being selected is something that you can really appreciate. And so I'm a very appreciative person, knowing that there are so many other fathers in this nation who could have been selected.
I believe that every last one of us have made some wrong turns on this journey we call life. And I believe that God sometimes allows some of us to make those wrong turns so we could turn around, we could help some other people and encourage them.
At the end of the day, it's all about just putting back and giving back to the young people of the country and just doing my best to continue to save the nation with these young men.
And so it really is truly an honor to be recognized by the Fox Foundation and all the good work that they're doing.
Addressing the honorees, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, said their stories represent exactly what the country needs more of: hope, leadership, and perseverance.
To this year's honorees, I want to thank you for your leadership. I want to thank you for your service. Your journeys are powerful proof that second chances can lead to new beginnings. To every father and father figure in this room and across our nation, I want to thank you for your sacrifices and your commitment.
More than celebrating success, the Fox Foundation celebrated resilience, and 20 Bahamian men proved that a comeback can become a legacy. Desmond Saunders, the Bahamas Tonight.
Well, a real nice story there to ease ourselves into what Marlena and Royston have for us coming up in Access Now.
Oh, yes. Good evening, McCushel. We're easing our way into this Feel Good Friday with a bang. We're going to have Entertainment Friday, of course, with the original triple OG hot boy Juvenile himself.
I think he has an impression he would like to share with...
Boys on fire, the hot boys.
What an intro.
Now, yeah, I was going to say, you can all be thankful that it's not Royston doing the entertainment today, but we do have Juvenile later on in the show. Stay with us.
Well, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this break.
Baked sandwich. I really like the honey mustard sauce. And then like the crispy bacon on it as well.
Oh, it's pepper jack cheese. I love the spice. I love the crunch.
I love the original sandwich, but just that simple addition of bacon was like over the top.
The chicken is really good.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I rate this a 10 out of 10. I'd eat this again.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Mailboat service is a critical service to the islands of the Bahamas. Certainly, Andrews has always been there and dear to us. That's where we're born and raised. And so we play a crucial role in advancing the growth and development of Andrews. Customers want service and they want consistency. From the start, that's been our commitment. We work to sail on time every time. Our customers have come now to expect this from us. And one of the biggest challenges we've had was finding adequate funding. SPDC from the very start has been a lifesaver. My advice to young people, if you have a vision, a passion, an idea, go for it. Don't give up. It's not easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it. Be consistent and you'll get there.
And before we leave, we want to extend warm birthday greetings to Dame Marguerite Pinling. Today marks her 94th trip around the sun. And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
First up tonight, we're talking art and its importance to national development.
Plus, health gets a little closer for diabetics. Those details straight ahead.
Also, an update on repairs to the Fresh Creek Bridge. Stay close for that.
And your Friday sports report is coming right up.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening on this Entertainment Friday. I'm Royson Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Welcome indeed. Now, some of life's greatest success stories come from things that are uncommon. They almost never happen overnight. Sometimes the path to success includes doubt, disappointment, and more often than not, a few closed doors.
Yeah, that's true. And today marks the anniversary of the publication of the first Harry Potter book in the UK. But what many people don't know is that J.K. Rowling's manuscript was rejected by a number of publishers before it ever reached bookstore shelves.
Absolutely true. I think it was 12 times it may have been rejection. But rejection is rarely the end of the story. In fact, it's normally part of the process, a part of the journey. So if you believe in what you're building and in what you're doing, keep going. And with that said, let's dive right into the news. Can art change the way the world sees a nation? That's the conversation taking shape after the Bahamas' acclaimed showing at this year's Venice Biennale. Our Matea Stewart has the story.
The Bahamas, crystal clear waters and white sandy beaches often come to mind. But halfway across the world, another side of our identity is turning heads. At the 61st Venice Biennale, one of the world's most prestigious contemporary art exhibitions, the Bahamas' National Pavilion stood among more than 100 others, yet consistently found itself listed among the top 10 and, in some cases, the top 5.
So this is almost like the Olympics for the art world. And so we got a lot of critical acclaim, and this is a moment where now people are looking at the Bahamas because of the art that we produce, not because of tourism, not because of other things. So that's really kind of an important moment for us to celebrate.
The exhibition, In Another Man's Yard, brings together the works of the late John Beadle and internationally acclaimed Bahamian artist LeVar Monroe, using themes of memory, migration, identity, and Junkanoo to tell a story that is unmistakably Bahamian. But according to art leaders, the impact reaches far beyond the gallery walls.
It's not enough to just have good artists. We have to have a strong infrastructure, a strong partnership, a strong communication strategy with the world so they see us in ways that they haven't seen us before.
That idea became the focus of Bahamar's latest Current Conversations event, where attendees explored how art can serve as a form of diplomacy. As the Bahamas continues to gain recognition on one of the world's biggest artistic stages, organizers hope moments like these encourage more Bahamians to see creativity not just as an expression, but as an influence.
The impact extends far beyond the exhibition walls. Bahamian art, stories, tradition, and culture are now being told through the eyes of Bahamians. Bahamian art is now being recognized on one of art's most respectable global stages. For the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now, I'm Matea Stewart.
Well, you know what they say, 242 to the world. Thank you so much, Matea. Well, a bit of history being made right here in the Bahamas, and it could also mean a game changer for diabetics. This past week, global pharmaceutical company Roche made the Bahamas the second country in the English-speaking Caribbean where it launched its new AccuCheck app, meant to give diabetics greater control of monitoring their glucose levels. This past Tuesday, the company treating local healthcare professionals to a glitzy rollout event. Company rep Vanessa Farland explains the significance of this technology.
Huge problem because it's growing and growing every year. We have more patients with diabetes because of the obesity pandemic, also our lifestyle. We don't perform too much exercise, so we are having higher rates of diabetes, and it's a problem all across the region, yeah.
Well, I think you just heard from Dr. Javier Calvo, who's an endocrinologist, and he was talking about just how excited he was. He came all the way from Costa Rica to attend the event. And now I think we're going to hear from Vanessa Farland.
This is going to be a new technology for our patients because the app not only does continuous glucose monitoring, but it predicts where a patient's glucose is going to go. It allows the patients to be able to choose what therapy, whether they need to take insulin or whether they can eat something a little sweeter or whether they need to take a walk because their blood glucose is a little bit high. It really gives the patients the power to manage their diabetes substantially better than, say, just having blood glucose monitors.
Absolutely. Work on the Fresh Creek Andrews Bridge to commence sometime this year. This comes after Current caused a ship named the TG Provider to bump into it during the Crab Fest last week. Luckily, there was no structural damage. Minister of Transport and Member of Parliament for Central, Mangrove Key and South Andrews, the Honourable Leon Lundy, says approximately $30 million will be pumped into the bridge's infrastructural upgrades.
A bridge that was raised to about 30 feet, giving it a double lane. So we're looking forward to it. Hopefully I can tell them this year we've already started that bridge. So I'm not looking into next year. I'm looking for this year for it to actually start. I know we're starting immediately after the glass window bridge, what's slated to start in a few weeks or a month. But definitely we're looking forward to our Fresh Creek Bridge being started this year.
Minister Lundy also outlined some of the plans in the pipeline during his second term.
Mangrove Key area, we actually already started our seawall. All of the material has come in already. That was in the first 30 days. I was proud to announce that in the first 30 days we had work already started. So definitely in terms of the port areas, we're building a new port building in that area also. And we're looking to actually do the airport that was announced by the Director of Aviation.
Well, this week, New Orleans rapper Juvenile hit the stage for 2 nights at Bahamas Jean-Baptiste Jazz Club. But before the self-proclaimed hot boy hit the stage, we caught up with Grand Hyatt Assistant Director of Operations for Food and Beverage, Milani Young Lau, about this latest concert series.
At the Jazz Club, you know, we are very big on the mashup of cultures. Not only are we a platform for Caribbean culture, Bahamian culture at its core, we're also a platform for diasporic culture. So having Juvie here, especially that he's from New Orleans, and you know John is from New Orleans, we just wanted to create those parallels, and Juvie is lit, so we are going all the way up tonight.
Well, our team was there, and of course we have all the action for you in tonight's entertainment segment later on in the show.
I like that Hot Boy reference. Remember the Hot Boys on Fire?
Oh,
and of course, still to come, the 5th annual Arthur Roosevelt Chase Scottish Masonic Food Festival is coming up, and we'll get the scoop, or maybe a 2 or 3 of those scoops.
And of course, Diane Dorsett has your Access weather forecast, so stay close.
June 28th at Rawson and Parliament Square for the Independence Beat Retreat. Celebrate the 53rd anniversary of Bahamian independence with an evening of culture, entertainment, and spectacular performances. The Cultural Village opens at 3:30 p.m., showcasing the best of the Bahamas. We'll see you there.
Save today, save tomorrow, save each and every day at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. JBI long grain or parboiled rice, 5 pounds, $2.89. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounces, $2.39. Whole chickens, $1.99 per pound. Sweet seedless watermelons, $7.99 each. Sweet pineapples, $5.99 each. Whether you're shopping for the week, the day, or stocking up for hurricane season, nobody saves you more than Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Good evening, everyone. It's a sizzling Friday evening, and hopefully everyone had a great week. It's time for your Access weather forecast. I know everyone's got plans, so let's take a quick look at what's shaping our weather for the next few days. We're heading into the weekend with a familiar summer pattern, hot, humid afternoons followed by scattered showers. We've got some patchy clouds near the extreme northwest Bahamas associated with a mid-level troughing, which will once again trigger pockets of showers and thunderstorms in those areas tonight and tomorrow. But otherwise, we've got some hot, partly sunny days ahead of us. And elsewhere in the tropics, tropical cyclone development is not expected during the next 7 days. And taking a look at your boating forecast, in the northwest Bahamas tonight and tomorrow, we'll get southeast winds at 12 to 18 knots, with seas at 3 to 6 feet, a low tide at 104 in the morning, and a high tide at 6:43. Then in the central and southeast Bahamas, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, seas at 4 to 7 feet, with a small craft caution still in place. Then in the northwest Bahamas on Sunday, southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet, a high tide at 7:26 Sunday morning, followed by a low tide at 1:26 that afternoon. And finally, in the central and southeast Bahamas, east to southeast winds 12 to 18 knots, seas at 3 to 6 feet, small craft caution still in effect. So CMO. It's time now for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Up about 1,000 inside a bra. She want a young man come and rev that engine like car. I think she graduate with my mom, but when she calling, no slapping, I tell her coming now.
That was your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that wraps up your Access weather forecast. But remember to join me again at 11 for a full weather update. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thanks, Diane. Well, the District Grand Lodge of the Bahamas is inviting the public to attend the 5th annual Arthur Roosevelt Chase Scottish Masonic Food Festival next Saturday. But it's not just about fun. This is also a major give back. And here to tell us all about it is District Grandmaster Dave Monroe and Dion Johnson. Thank you so much for joining us on Access Now.
Yes, greetings. We're so happy to be here, Dion and myself. We're great. Thanks for having us.
We're excited to have you here. If there's one thing we love on this show is food, even if we're only talking about the food.
Yes.
But before we get to the food, tell us about the lodge and what it stands for.
Yes, okay, the District Grand Lodge of the Bahamas was consecrated in 1991. And since that time, we had 8 District Grand Masters. I'm the 8th one who continue to work assiduously to assist persons throughout the country. And areas such as the hurricane relief, we assist persons who run for the home, AIDS awareness, blood drive. We continue to do that throughout the country. And we have 11 lodges under the district banner. 7 is in Nassau and 4 in the family violence. And all of those lodges continue to work in various disciplines to help persons in various countries, in various islands, sorry. We continue to work. Listen, Freemasonry continue to be the bedrock of these societies.
Caring for the community.
And basically to have moral attributes to be a Mason and see how best we can move the country forward. In Andros, we have a young man who's now a brother. They would have assisted him in Andros, and now he's a medical doctor.
Amazing.
In Nassau.
And that impacts the whole island?
Impact the whole country. In Nassau, one of the young brothers who was assisted to the musical, is now in Cat Island teaching young men how to play
whole
instruments.
generation.
A whole generation.
And I'm assuming the festival helps fund these kinds of efforts.
Fund a number of those events.
Can you tell us a little bit about this festival? I understand it's more than just food that's going to be there. There are other experiences happening too?
Yeah, definitely. The food festival is annual, right? And what we have done is we've allowed all of the islands that we have represented under the Scottish banner to come down and just share a little bit. And this theme is a taste of the Bahamas.
Exactly.
And so we're going to have like ribs, turkey legs.
Exactly.
The fellas I'm coming in from Andros, they bring in everything to do with the crab pan.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Abaco, they have wild boar. And of course, you know, you can't have food without talking about the lucha.
Pineapple.
Loaf pineapple.
Exactly.
And so with that experience, there's even going to be introduced now a wing eating competition.
Oh, my.
And so
if you're hungry, that's the place to be.
Listen, we're telling the people, listen, come hungry and come thirsty.
Yes, but even if you aren't hungry or thirsty, which is, you know, some people, there's also something else that they can get out of this festival, isn't there? You're having a raffle. Tell us what are those prizes?
Now, listen, I really tell them, don't sell no ticket to nobody, because the prizes that they're giving away is what is needed for my life right now.
It's like,
a brand new 2027 BYD vehicle.
Oh.
Yes.
$2,000 voucher in the Bahamas Power and Light Company.
Can you imagine?
Oh, come on, man.
Can you imagine?
Light on the $2,000 for $10.
All the AC,
and it's
all of the
only $10. And it's only $10.
For $10.
You know, it's gas vouchers, propane tank, so when your gas run out at home, you can start.
And can people buy those tickets?
Samsung food.
Yes.
All kind of things.
Your phone, your car, your power bill, you're straight. Can people buy those tickets at the festival too?
So you can buy the tickets at the festival, right? But tomorrow, meaning Saturday, June 27th, now they're selling them at Quality Home Centers, both locations, which is Prince Charles and Carmichael. We have the Quality Supermarkets, Cable Beach, Super Value, Golden Gates. And so you can have an opportunity to purchase those tickets for $10, or if you so desire, want someone to come and deliver those tickets to you, you could call 477-1249 or 457-2366.
All right, well, now we've heard all the good stuff. When and where? One more time.
This festival is the place to be.
Yeah.
Sounds like
This is the place to be.
And where is that place? Tell them when and where.
So it's going to be at the new Scottish Masonic Temple, which is on Dolphin Drive.
Dolphin Drive.
It's Saturday, July 4th, 2026, and the gates will be open at 12 noon until. The reason we say until is because if anybody know anything about what's happening in regards to bands and Bahamian bands, the Pawn Band is going to be there. DJ AI, DJ Broker's Hell, he's going to be there. I think, well, I'll be there on the microphone making sure that you win the prizes that you come to win
Right,
for.
right.
Yeah? And the thing is, we're also making it a family experience.
Exactly.
As usual,
There's
there's going to be a kiddie corner. And so, you know, we're having
something for everybody.
Everyone to enjoy. Next week, Saturday, July 4th. On the Scottish Masonic
Thank
Temple.
you so much for joining us.
Come out
guys.
and have a great time.
And donate. Buy those tickets.
And buy those
help
tickets,
support.
$10.
Yes.
You see the prizes and surprises.
There you go.
Listen, District
Don't
Landlord
miss
to the
it.
Bahamas will continue to be here and serve the people of the archipelago.
Help them help
Please
you.
come and support.
Yes.
It's open at 12. Kids free, adults. It's just a small cost of $5.
Yes, there you go.
Just come out.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I'll try to make it out there myself. Some of those raffle
You're
tickets sound good
welcome.
to me.
You're welcome.
Well, stay with us. Sports with Amajal Knowles is up right after this break.
Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect, a first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean, removing up to 100% of deposits, restoring your engine to perform like new. All new Restore and Protect, another first by Valvoline, distributed by Battery and Tire Specialists.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make it a date. Saturday, June 27, 2026, 7 p.m. at Atlantis Paradise Island. It's the King Noah National Parkinson Foundation's 26th Annual Gala Charity Ball. Cocktails begin at 6:45 p.m. Food prepared by international chefs. Tons of prizes and surprises. Entertainment by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Pop Band, DJ Gary Super Johnson, and the Dynamic Essence Band. Once again, it's Saturday, June 27, 2026, 7 p.m. at Atlantis Paradise Island. If you haven't already purchased your ticket, give us a call at 242-477-3782. That's 242-477-3782. With your help, we can continue to tell those with Parkinson. We are not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you.
Welcome to TGIF Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, talking sports. One full day of competition in the books over the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center. The Bahamas Aquatic Swim Nationals will Mako Aquatics make one step closer to an unprecedented 9th straight title. Will one of the other swim clubs pull off the upset? Our Swanson Gibson lets us know in this report.
First tonight's session of this year's Swimming Nationals gave way to a series of competitive races at the Betty Kelly Canning Complex. Swimmers from the 8 and under all the way up to the 18 over division, battling in the 200 breaststroke, 50 backstroke, and 100 butterfly races. But the exciting night would be capped off with the high-stakes 200 freestyle races that would send shockwaves throughout the arena. In the 11-12 girls 200 breaststroke event, Isabella Monroe of Mako Aquatics, cruising her way to a first-place finish. She reflects on her performance.
What was going through my mind was just finish to the wall. You know, on my first 50, I was just like, okay, go all out, trying to get that gap. And I did get the gap. On that last 50, I died. But hey, I still made it to the wall.
A while later in the 15-17 girls 50 back, Cyan Isaacs would have success of her own.
I feel really good. I've been practicing really hard. I think everybody in the race did really well.
On the boys' side, Breon Stord made his presence felt in the 11-12 boys, 200 breast and 100 fly.
Good. Going into the race, I had my mindset that I was going to try to come top 3. And I kept on going. I kept on pushing to the last 10-meter mark. And I kept in my head, I had to keep on going if I want to get medal.
And Bahamian Olympian Lamar Taylor doing work in the 18 and over, 50 back, and the 100 fly. He described the feeling of competing at home.
It feels really good just to be able to come home and execute what I've been doing in practice and execute what I've been doing in training. So just like coming there and just swimming for the Bahamian people and just having my family and friends.
And after day 1, the top 5 of the meet already being established. In 5th position are the Barracudas with 162 points. In 4th are the Black Marlins with 252 points. Positioned in 3rd are the Blue Waves with 280. Just above them is Alpha Aquatics with 281 points. And leading the meet thus far is Mako Aquatics with 689 points. All statistics are up to press time. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
Thanks, Wani. And Hoops News, Nishad Mackey adding another collegiate coaching position to his extensive resume. Mackey recently joining the Mercer University Bears as an assistant coach under head coach Woody Taylor. Mackey, of course, a member of the Bahamas Senior Men's National Basketball Team's coaching staff. He joined the Mercer program following a 2-season stint with the University of South Carolina upstate.
It's hard to put it into words. Ultimately, working really, really hard to get to this point in my career. I'm excited to be with Mercer. I'm excited to be with Coach Ryan Ritter, who I played for his dad, and got a chance to work with him at UT Martin. And we got a chance to win a championship together. So I'm excited to be around good people, excited to be around, a collection of individuals that value winning and value people at the highest level. But hey, I'm at Mercer University, and while I'm at Mercer, I'm just gonna elevate this program to a level that it's never seen before. So that's my everyday approach. And then once I do that, and once we have success on the court, off the court, those opportunities are just going to come. So just continue to show up every day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, and just doing what I can to push the university forward.
Mackey said a major factor in the decision to move was family.
Family is everything for me. When I left Nassau, I was 16 years old, and I went into a new experience very similar to Coach McLean and Tom and Willis, all those guys that are chasing similar dreams as I am. But leaving home and your family at a young age, it can take a toll on you, whether it's right or left. So being away from my family and wanted to be around people I knew care about me, they value, what I was going through, off the court, that is equally important to them, what's going on in their own personal space. So that was huge for me. Ultimately, I have my own family. I have 4 kids. And the basketball profession, it takes you away from them for so long and for so many hours. And then when you get home from a long day, or you're coming home from a defeat or a victory, and you see those low faces, it's just like, now I remember what I do it for. It's not winning or losing in that situation, but it's more so, putting a smile on faces of those people that really, really care about you. So family's everything to me.
So in college hoops, Bahamian forward Leonardo Roll will continue his career at the NCAA Division I level after recently signing with Missouri State. The 6'7" forward averaged 14 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, and 1 block per game last year, as he would help the Southwest Mississippi State Hawks finish with a 17-15 record. Roll scored in double figures in 20 of his 29 appearances, including 8 games with at least 20 points and 3 double-doubles. His production earned him national recognition, which ranked him as the number 60 junior college prospect in the country. And that's been a look at your sports on this Friday. I'm Amajal Knowles signing out until tomorrow.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
You're looking at the Stapleton Park, and as you can see, we're not the only ones seeing these Poinciana trees blooming all around. They've got their fair share showing there, too.
Love it. Lots of color, lots of vibrancy, and it's time now for your Entertainment Friday with Mr. Slow Motion for Me, Juvenile. Take it away.
I mean, just look at that crowd. Yes. I rarely get FOMO, that fear of missing out, but
right.
Yeah, I kind of...
That's a triple OG. That's one of the first albums I had when I was at QC, probably about 16 years old. I got the Block is Hot album. Who gave that to me? I think it was Amber. Thank you. That put me on the juvenile run. That's going to do it for Access Now for tonight on this Entertainment Friday.
Stay tuned for the rundown with Howard Grant. Good night, everybody.
It's like,
You should play that out.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.
Good evening and welcome to the Rundown. I am Howard Grant and this is your #1 station in the nation, ZNS News Network. I'm so happy to be with you. Always grateful to be with you on this beautiful Friday evening. Bim. Warm and easy. I'm just happy to be here, always happy. I know that this was a grueling week for some. I know that we've been having a great deal of things in the news cycle and being able to have this sort of a conversation that's happening. We would have been able to see in the news this week, more specifically being able to tackle and touch the homelessness that exists in these particular spaces. The Minister for Social Services, Barbara Cartwright, with a contribution in the Senate, being able to speak to the necessity and the growing population of homelessness. And more specifically, the fact that a great deal of persons are leaving their parents, unattended or our older generation in this kind of a space. I want to talk about that. I want to have a good conversation about what continues to kind of pop back up relentlessly post-election about this sort of an idea that exists with, not specifically, I don't want to be able to speak to specificity as it relates to Eric Gardner, but I want to be able to talk about this sort of an idea of corruption and whether or not this is a tackling of corruption or whether or not this is a political plot or ploy that we see playing afoot. Joining me for this kind of a conversation, because we're not speaking specifics, we're speaking generally and really being able to teeter our way back to the position that we were called to. I have my very good friend, Senior Pastor of Kingdom Discipleship Center, none other than my good friend, Ambassador Devin Rowe. My brother, say good afternoon. Good evening.
Good afternoon, Howard. Good afternoon, Bahamas and world. It's an honor to be back on air with you, sir.
Always a good time to being able to sit up with you, man.
Yes, sir.
How things been?
Oh, it's been pretty good. I'm pressing, as I like to say. The assignment is great that I have upon my life, and I'm always seeking to make the next move to get ahead. And these are pressing times. And based upon the things that you just said just now, you just got all of my intellectual juices running, because we do need to address these things, especially in terms of the homelessness issue. Because it's been heavy on my heart, the notion that a lot of people are not handling the economic side of life very well in our country. You see them on the streets, you see them under the bridge. I have some folks who go to the bridge to help to feed people every now and again.
The actual bridge?
The actual bridge.
Sir, that's Porter's Key Dock. That's fish fry. What they doing under there?
You'll be surprised to know how many people come on there at night as their place.
Yeah, over the years we've seen a lot of persons pass away, and no one even knew that they were there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And so you would probably look at that as bottom line poverty, but we do still have the...
But that hadn't always existed. I talked about this the other day on my show. That hadn't always existed with us.
Yep.
Our community was very small. Coming from 8 Mile Rock, we always had 1 or 2 token persons that we would identify as quote-unquote Joneses.
And everybody...
Quote-unquote Joneses.
Everybody knew them.
But everybody do their best to accommodate these people.
And help them out, yes.
Right?
Indeed.
We feed you, we give you something to drink, but you are tethered to whatever the substance addiction that you have, and so you can't leave it alone.
So that may be bottom line economics in terms of the disenfranchised in our country. But we do also have a middle class that's still hurting and fighting to hold on to their status. Many of them have been back home from university and still have challenges owning land and owning homes. And I think that kind of impact when your intellectual class is struggling at that level, that sort of spills over to a worsening of conditions with those who aren't as educated. So we still, the campaigns are over, the election is over. We still have a lot of work to do to bring up the bottom tier and even the middle tier of our country.
So we're talking about these things. I like how you started to be able to put it in tiers. You talked about the poverty or those persons who are in the lower tier, right? Then you talked about the working class. Then there's a middle class and the upper class in our society. You're saying to me that homelessness, even after you would have acquired your education, would have gone off, find yourself back home, and there's opportunities, you still find yourself in this position that you don't have.
Especially considering that the bulk of work opportunities are still in the capital, and the capital is only so big. We're in the inner city. We're next to each other with the homes. You better don't talk too loud because your neighbor would hear your conversation. Well, and that was another thing my late father used to say. We got to find a way to get more of these city people to get back in the islands, and there is a movement afoot in several of the islands where things are increasing. You look at Eleuthera. Eleuthera is bustling. I can testify of that, having gone there several times.
Exuma.
Exuma is doing extremely well.
I think Aberco is turning the curb and being able to find itself strengthening.
Bimini is doing well.
Bimini
Aberco,
also,
I think, has turned that curve. I'm hearing a lot of good things.
Post-Dorian.
Post-Dorian, yes.
Yeah.
So, but we still need the willing.
Grand Bahama, a lot of people are saying to me, Howard, come back home, Grand Bahama is booming.
Really?
They telling me, yeah.
I have not heard that. Now, I heard some moves were made to get some tours in there through the cruise ship.
I think my mother, she has a tendency to exaggerate. I love you. Let's just be decent. She told me the other day, almost 100 miles of road, she said, it was a road, bumper to bumper in Grand Bahama. I said, you need to stop. You need to stop it.
Bumper to bumper. I've never
She's telling me some things are happening. Some things are happening in these kind of areas.
Right.
And so a lot of persons are saying these particular things to me about the family violence. We're seeing some things happen, and Andres also. But then there's still this issue of homelessness, and a lot of the population exists here. 3/4 of the population exists here in the city of Nassau, 21/7. And there's a level of homelessness that I think is increasing. I think all of us are taken back, especially if you have your daily routine is on a particular path, and then you see another young person pop out again, young, in their 20s.
Right.
And whether that's mental issues or social issues or deprivation or lack or whatever the case may be, on the streets begging. This isn't something that we know, that we are familiar with in this country. Talk to me about it.
It's increasing. I mean, and just go to your local food store, go to the ATM, go to the mall.
Everywhere.
And they're waiting in all corners to...
At the ATM.
To beg alms.
To ask me for $1 and you know the smallest bill I have is 10. You need to stop. Right now, you need to stop.
So, I mean, we need to study it. We need to look at it seriously to see, is it that we are raising a class of graduates, or well, a lot of students that are graduating, they're just leaving school, but are we raising a generation of young adults?
I like this conversation.
Who are not motivated to work, who are not motivated to use their gifting and simply looking for handouts, or is it a lack of opportunity? Whatever it is, we need to address it quickly because the numbers, like you say, are growing.
It can't be a lack of opportunity. It cannot be. Even though we don't see this sort of an increase coming in from the south with the sloops and those from our southern brothers and sisters, Haitians, of Haitian descent, or any other migrants that are coming into our country illegally or otherwise, they're coming for opportunities and they're finding themselves occupied.
So the opportunities are here.
Opportunities are here.
So why is the homeless class and the beggar class
I think if we do research, and we get down to to the meat and potatoes of this conversation and this sort of a concept, we'll realize that this is a conditioning to Bahamians, authentic to Bahamians. Unfortunately, I believe that we've nestled ourselves in this position as we prized ourselves over the years as the jewel of the Caribbean, influenced significantly by America, and that significant influence doesn't always necessarily be good.
Yeah.
There is a population of us that expect people to give you handouts.
Enablement, entitlement, and work ethic has plummeted.
Significantly.
The question is why?
Well, I don't even know. See, I don't even want to get too deep with this because we only get an hour. The truth is that, if we look at this, I don't know whether the work ethic plummeted. I know that Bahamians have relentlessly advocated and agitated for a position for themselves for liberty, especially post-64, when you would have been able to see the first black premier and then eventually become first prime minister and so forth and so on. After that, the Bahamians felt a level of entitlement. But if we remember, more specifically, for the development of Grand Bahama, this development and this prospect came from a great deal from Turks and Caicos. The labor has always been from an external standpoint. It has never been Bahamian people really putting their arms, ears, hands, blood, sweat, and tears to the development of these particular projects.
So are you saying we never had work ethic?
We've always been in a position that we wanted to be able to say, and I don't mean this in any condescending manner, I just want to be able to remind people of the days of old, when persons would aspire to be the colonialists, aspire to be in a position of authority, aspire to say, well, that's my Haitian. This is just where we come from as a people. If you look from a historic standpoint.
We have boss man mentality.
We have a boss man mentality. Without the work ethic, without the experience, without the entrepreneurial development, we just desire to be gratified in a position without understanding the labor thereof.
Well, but this is deep. We may have to dedicate a whole show to this because as I hear you talk, you now make me think of what's his name? Dr. Donaldson would probably argue, had he still been here, that the drug culture really didn't help us.
The drug culture destroyed the Bahamas.
With that mindset, yeah.
Anywhere between 1973 and 1981, inclusive of the introduction of the significant AIDS virus or the HIV that actually boomed in the early 80s, it destroyed.
Were you in school when they did, this was in the 90s, they did a survey of the high schools in the country asking them their preferred career path. And they came back in the news with a very disturbing revelation.
They want to be drug dealers.
Yes. Do you remember that?
I don't know. I wasn't.
You better be younger. Yeah. Yes. No, but
I didn't participate in that.
The percentage.
I have to take a break. Let me take a quick break because we got to fix this, right? Quick break, guys. We're going to be right back after this.
Since a young girl, I always loved watching the women come in and get their hair done and commune together with everybody. I grew a great appreciation for that. I always had a great love for making women feel beautiful and just the atmosphere of a beauty salon. Hi, my name is Asia Cartwright, and I'm a hairstylist at the Glow Bar in Old Port Bay. I enjoyed accounting. I did it professionally for a few years. After the pandemic, I decided to take a leap of faith, go off to school in Atlanta at a Veda Institute to learn the science behind hair, because I realized this is my passion. This is something that I really wanted to do, but I wanted to understand the real depth of, okay, why does hair do this? Why is it responding this way? What do I need to do to help someone get on their best hair journeys? It's not been easy. When it's fueled by passion, you always have an extra push of motivation to just try harder. It's being fueled from your heart space. I enjoy making women feel beautiful. I enjoy being a listening ear. It's more than hair, it's like therapy. We all leave leaving lighter. For women that are, facing some type of fear, that want to change their path and careers, I would say do it. I trusted God because I don't feel like he would have given me the vision and the dreams if it wasn't for me. It doesn't matter what no one says. It doesn't matter, how it looks from the outside. And I'm going to give it my all, and that's what I do.
To learn more about the Women Entrepreneurs Initiative, visit our website or contact us at 461-7232. And remember, empowered women empower women.
tastiest thing about soccer is sharing it with the whole team, just like the new Ready for Soccer. A delicious lineup of 16 slices and 4 flavor sections. Perfect for sharing from start to finish, even beyond the 90 minutes. Get your team together and dig in, only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Join us Sunday, June 28th at Rawson and Parliament Square for the Independence Beat Retreat. Celebrate the 53rd anniversary of Bahamian independence with an evening of culture, entertainment, and spectacular performances. The Cultural Village opens at 3:30 p.m., showcasing the best of the Bahamas. We'll see you there.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, having a great conversation here with you on this beautiful Friday evening. Hope you guys are good and preparing yourself for a great deal of activities that's happening over the weekend. Just be safe and be sober-minded as you continue to move that. Talking about sobriety, we started this conversation. I'm here with none other than Ambassador Devin Rowe, and really being able to talk to you about what's happening in the country. We wanted to highlight something that came out in the news on Wednesday out of the Senate, and being able to see Barbara Cartwright, or the Honorable Barbara Cartwright, Senator, in her capacity as Minister for Social Services, being able to speak to the homelessness and sort of the dedication that have made from the governmental standpoint to rectify these sort of an issue. And I think a lot of the times we want to travel back to the inception of where it went wrong. We weren't like this even when we knew we didn't have.
Right.
Even when we knew we was poor.
Yep.
There was a very clear understanding that we had strength in numbers. Whether that was the ASU draw, whether that was being able to, the concept of a village, being able to raise children.
Come together, help
we
each other.
were a part of a community. And with the introduction of independence, dare I say, there has been this separation. And not only independence, it seems like independence was a forerunner for this sort of an idea of instant gratification and liberty in their desires to be able to acquire something quick. So I want to be able to talk to you about that and talk about these sort of concepts and ideas, all right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about this sort of an idea. After 73, we got into drugs. And it's just before 81. Talk to me about that. You was asking me something about whether or not I remember the survey.
There was a national survey done in the very early 90s asking high school, those who were in high school, about their career paths. And there was a disturbing rate of young, particularly young men, who said they wanted to be drug dealers. And so that was in the news. I remember it like it was yesterday. And so many civic, social places started asking the question, why would young men want to follow this path? Well, they looked at the
That's
external...
a very easy answer.
Yeah, it's very easy. I mean,
IROC Z,
yep.
GT Boss.
Yeah, Z28.
Z28. Thick gold chains.
Thick gold chains.
You remember that? 5 and 6 on the fellas.
Yes.
They had Ninja bikes.
Yep.
Kawasaki.
Yep.
Dirt bikes. Big cars. 17 girlfriend. Come on, man. This is very clear.
Yeah. Yeah, the external trappings were very flashy. And so...
And you did not, and during the 80s, this was the time where you had to be polished. Your hair had to be cut. You had to keep yourself presentable. Grammy said, give me a schoolboy cut. There was always this sort of a neat posture that you had to be able to present yourself. You always had to genuflect and understand. These fellas who was making money had hair, nappy. You understand? They always kept themselves in a particular manner. You desired to have your comforts and have access to this capital.
There was a forceful disruption.
Come on, man, talk to
me. You said something earlier. I just hope, man, this is crazy. I hope in certain quarters that the mentality to post-independence was in, oh, we ain't got to work hard no more.
I think because, okay, so we moved towards independence, and the Union Jack fell, and the Bahamian flag rose high in the sky. and everyone felt this wind rush over the country. And we knew that we were liberated. We knew that there was an access and opportunity. We knew that we could change the bedtime stories of our kids. And now mothers were whispering to their kids that, baby, you could do whatever and be whatever. The concept and the idea of the government high, the liberation that education, access, and opportunity could give you, that was no longer a part of the conversation. It was not education as a forerunner for liberation. It was, we are free now. We could get a job at the bank. We could go through the front door of the Savoy Plaza. We could do all these particular things. And then in '69, you would have been able to see the Prime Minister being able to champion the cause in various quarters, more specifically in Grand Bahama, being able to say to those who held significant authority, bend or break. All of this gave you a mindset that the man was working for you. And the government didn't help. The government did everything to tell you, if you need something, come to me. I will take care of you. Government became daddy, when education was the forerunner at the forefront. And the exact same thing continues to happen today. We've rejected this sort of an idea, and whether it's drugs, or whether it's cryptocurrency, or whether it's pyramid schemes, or whether it's scamming, whatever it is, we, in this culture, in this generation, in this dispensation, are looking for instant gratification. And if we can't get it, we act like spoiled children and expect someone to give it to us.
So we have to attack that fallacy, because anything gotten without process will not be sustained.
Who telling the children this?
That's what I'm saying now.
No one telling the children this.
There must be a deliberate effort. I mean, in my quarters, I wouldn't call it small quarters, I say my growing quarters, I'm trying to spread this message as much as I can, talking about the fact that process is critical to being able to sustain success. If you get something too easily, you tend not to value or to appreciate it. And, well, I mean, all gatekeepers in the country have an obligation to help to change this narrative. It's not good. We've been saying this for years. A lot of people have been saying, for example, there's an old politician, he's dead now, so I won't call his name, but he said to me one time, he said, man, Minister, I went to the food store. Before I could get in the food store, a group of boys came to me, Bahamian guys, young fellas, came to me wanting sponsorship. He said, I went in the food store and discovered that the majority of young men working as packing boys and working the shelves were of foreign background. And he said, and I'm waiting to see what his catch point was. He was like, we have a problem. He says, those who are here from elsewhere have come with a mind to work for what they want, while the average Bahamian is seeking to solicit sponsorship or whatever help they can get from others.
It's not real sponsorship. Many of that, I want to say to you, about 75%, maybe even 80% of that is not real sponsorship.
No, I believe you.
There's one person who keep telling me, sponsor me for our music band. What do you play? Horn. What kind of horn? You need to stop. Don't remind me. I'm saying, I want to say this to you, and also to your point, the rhythm of life that exists now, the rhythm of life, we, especially those of us of this hue, black people, respond to a significant rhythm. And whether or not it's is pronounced or articulated, there is a rhythm that we all move to, an expectation, a flow that we move with. There is a backdrop, a soundtrack of this particular rhythm that we move to. And the soundtrack has been of a great deal of artists from an international standpoint who sell based upon the appetite of the listeners. And one of the persons, more specifically, they can get mad at me for saying this, is Vibes Cartel.
Okay.
Now, Vibes Cartel has preached a message to a great deal of young people that they have absorbed it, and whether or not they recognize it, there is an application thereof. When he says to them, exchange ain't no robbery. So not only are young people taking on this kind of a posture of being able to get what they can and give what they must to get where their desires, they don't even recognize this. One time ago, we would have called this prostitution.
Right.
But this shift in conversation, this shift in the conditioning, this shift and moving away from the pillars that we stand for in our society is now causing the entire trajectory, the domino effect, the ripple effect in our society, where we're seeing poor persons show up, where we're seeing mental dejection, where we're seeing families that leave mommy at home for her to fend for herself when she has dementia, when she have other issues. All of these things are happening. Barbara Cartwright, in that particular capacity, spoke about that also. How we've left what made us a wholesome community. We've left these particular things. And we've accepted this sort of an instant gratification. We've accepted this idea that love is love. There is no division, segregation, separation, being able to say that this is right and righteous, that is wrong, and we could be able to fall into diverse positions as a result of that.
Like yourself, I have a global mindset, so I try to keep my eye on the pulse of what's happening internationally. We're in a season of a lot of wars and rumors of wars, as scripture forecasts. However, you're talking about Honorable Barbara Cartwright and her findings. This is so interesting to me because for the last 25 years, the ministers of social services, to me, I think when they get in office, they get shocked out of this world by what they discover in terms of our social ills. I can remember very clearly Butler, forgive me for her first name, who was Loretta Butler. I remember Melanie Griffin. Both of them, when they got in there, did some surveys initially and found out that there was a tremendous amount of incest throughout our country. A lot of child perversion in terms of sexual occurrences. And they, I mean, both of them, I remember them quite clearly, tears coming out of their eyes when they discovered it. Now this new, latest Minister of Social Services finding out that now it may be some of the children of the same abuse have come up now, and a lot of parents are now being abused. And I'm highlighting this because I've been hearing, as a pastor, I've been hearing about this for a long time, parents being left home alone. They're invalid, can't take care of themselves, but the children are nowhere to be found. Parents who have taken care of their children, now they've come a certain age, they've been put into homes, and many of them are in depression, not being visited. We have a sickness in this country that needs to be addressed. And a part of the sickness is we hate calling out wrong when we see it because we've been trained, no, leave it alone, hush, hush.
Let sleeping dogs lie.
Exactly. But that has done, that sore has turned out into a need now for massive surgery. It's not just a Band-Aid situation anymore. We get a lot of ills that light, well, Scripture says this, when light cometh, darkness can no longer abide. So, but it's not in the vein of simply exposing to hurt and to condemn and to embarrass. The light comes to destroy the grip of the darkness. Now love must come now in there and heal and fix and teach and direct. That's why I'm saying we have a lot of stuff that we need to address in this hour. Don't get sidetracked by the noise of politics and the lights. That glamour for the campaign season is but a blur for a moment. Real work begins, and it's not only on the government. In every facet of our society, we have to get to work in terms of healing and exposing and redirecting our focus. We got a generation coming up who just, I mean, we don't want to call names specifically, but don't you see that drug culture sneaking back in from the 80s? And everybody's like, ain't saying nothing? No, we got to kill that. There's no need for it.
Yeah. Well, when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about a lot of these particular things. It's a Friday, so we're going to have this kind of introspection conversation to be able to look deep within ourselves. And I hope you join us. We're going to be back right after this break.
So how's your preparation going? By now, you should be completing home repairs since the last storm, updating and replenishing your emergency kit, and paying closer attention to the ZNS networks for earlier than normal developments in the tropics and general storm tracking. Hurricanes don't wait. Why should you? This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
Bahamas. Hurricane season is here. Are you ready? The 2026 Atlantic hurricane season officially runs from June 1st through November 30th. 6 months of staying alert and prepared. Storms are named to help meteorologists, emergency officials, and the public communicate clearly and quickly during dangerous weather events. Hurricanes are also measured using the Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale, which ranks storms from categories 1 through 5 based on wind speed and potential damage. And did you know, when a hurricane becomes especially deadly or destructive, its name is permanently retired out of respect for the lives and communities affected. Now is the time to prepare your emergency kit with a portable AM/FM radio. Review your family plans and stay connected to trusted weather information. Preparation today can save lives tomorrow. These are the names of the storms for the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly, Edward, Faye, Gonzalo, Hannah, Isaias, Josephine, Kyle, Leah, Marco, Nana, Omar, Paulette, Renee, Sally, Teddy, Vicky, and Wilfred. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Disaster Risk Management Authority.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Rundown. I'm Howard Grant. So grateful to be with you. Always happy to be with you. It is a Friday evening, always being able to kind of give you the introspection and the breakdown of what was happening the entire week. Sometimes it's light, sometimes it's a little bit heavy. Tonight, I think we're getting a little bit heavy being able to talk about these things because there are issues that really matter. I think a lot of the time we find ourselves being able to wrestle with topical things, just superficial conversations about, and never really being able to stem to the depth, to the root, to the core, to the foundation of these particular matters. Tonight I'm joined by none other than Ambassador Devin Rowe, who's being able to join us and really being able to have a transparent conversation to identify some of the things that's happening in our society. We highlighted this sort of a concept that came out of the Senate and more specifically out of social services to identify the homelessness and this sort of deprivation or the lack of care that's being given to our senior citizens and leaving mama and papa them home by themselves to fend for themselves during a time after they would have dedicated their lives to being able to ensure that we were taken care of in our youth. And this is a tragedy. This is a horrible thing. I can't get in your business. I don't know your relationship with your mother and your father. I don't know whether or not you think that they deserve it because what they did to me, I don't know. But, you know, honor your father and your mother.
And your days.
Oh, my God, I just get preachy. You got to calm down. Honor your father and your mother.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sitting here with none other than Ambassador Devin Rowe. Ambassador, talk to me about this. You started to talk when we left off, this sort of an idea about the wrangling of specific conversation from our politicians and them speaking to what appears to be the resurgence of a drug culture in our country. And it's been brought up significantly in the House of Assembly. And I think more specifically, you can see that the opposition is doing what they believe is right as it relates to being able to keep beating at this proverbial door. But the truth is that like we're observing, like I observe, this is just a topical thing, this is just a superficial thing. There is no vision to be able to get us to an answer for eradicating and breaking up the monotony of the core, the root of these matters. There's no vision that's being casted by an opposition, by anyone that says, this is how we're going to get to the core of this, by being able to change this particular approach. And this is what we expect from opposition. Opposition has a responsibility of being able to identify what is a current issue, but really being able to go back historically and say, if we get back to this juncture and make this shift from an educational standpoint, with the introduction of a curriculum, with being able to fortify things from the home, then we would not have this problem in due time and due season.
You're talking about vision. A vision.
That's all I'm trying to tell you now.
Needs to be casted.
Okay, come on now.
People need to understand that there are opportunities, tremendous opportunities, that don't require you becoming criminal in nature and in mindset. The world just announced less than 14 days ago its first trillionaire. Elon Musk, sorry. So if one man can amass $1 trillion, you don't think we can put our minds together and find a way to be successful in the place where God lives, God did the late Dr. Miles, without venturing into corruption, into drugs, or whatever the case is? I'm not laying charge at anybody's feet, but I'm saying this nasty
You always
culture.
just try to be politically correct. You ain't laying charge of nobody's feet. There are Bahamian people who are sitting out there right now and will fight us down and say, but we come from a pirate society. They would say that to you right now. Without a vision, a desire to be able to get to a place of righteousness and alignment with where we're called to be. They would say to you, hey, listen, corruption was always there. Cain killed Abel. Eve sinned. We can't avoid this. All we could do is our part to be able to navigate through this and do for you, as opposed to be worrying about these people. Let them die, teeth, cry, and all these things. If you get a chance to lay on the side of Jesus, ask him to forgive you, Barabbas. And today you may end up in paradise, but the hell with everybody else. This is the concept that many people would say to us in this society.
Well, they have their right to do that and choose that. Well, I choose to lean more towards that voice crying in the wilderness. I do believe Galatians 6:7, be not deceived, whatsoever man sows, that shall he also reap. So in the end thereof of sowing evil seeds, you will reap evil fruit. Yeah, I'll be the first to tell you, you have your choice. You can make a decision. You can go that corrupt path and say, let me enjoy the fruits without labor now. However, the end thereof is not a pretty sight. So that's all. That's my assignment. I'm doing that part very boldly and without fear of contradiction. But I want to say, in casting a vision, the playing field is being so level now with how quickly technology is moving. We say we are a Christian people, which means we should have a moral edge in the way we do things. But if we choose not to embrace the side of righteousness and we want to continue doing this corrupt way, don't be surprised when you continue begging while the elite of the elite looks like they're living in heaven on earth.
Many of them, this is their heaven. Well, many people have become content.
You always want to take the preacher rule. Go ahead.
I got to let you know this. Many people have become content that I ain't gonna never make it on the next side. I better have heaven here.
I enjoy that.
And if what I need to do to have heaven here, let's get into all the lust. Let's get into the perversion. Let's get into all of these particular concepts. Let's build this particular thing. At least people have the memory, even in the flames, of a time that we were on the top of the world. Well, if this is a mindset.
If you have decided that this is your heaven, carry on.
Let him have it.
Carry on smartly.
Praise God.
Carry on smartly.
But what about those persons who don't know the distinction between right and wrong? We believe that there is an innate thing inside of us. We believe that after we get a particular age that we should know what is right and what is wrong. But unfortunately, in our society, if we do the numbers just from a superficial humanistic standpoint and identifying this, these people cannot know the right from wrong in this society. They have to be able to look at the rhythm of what existed and say, well, if everyone doing this, this must be right.
Well, there are many whose consciences have been seared with a hot iron, so they have no conviction. Scripture talks about reprobate mind. what we need to be...
He gives them over to that.
He gives them over to it. And if you read Romans 1 carefully, because a lot of people just focus on the sexuality part of it, and they miss the pride demon that's being centered. If they embrace their pride and continue to go against truth and what God ascribes to us and how we should live, he says, well, I'll give you over to your desire. I'll give you over to reprobate mind.
Because you wish to be a God unto yourself.
Whereby you now will be so blinded you will call right wrong and wrong right. I choose not to be on that path. And that's why I continue to cry out for righteousness. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, or his way of doing things, and all things that you need shall be added. But then you do have those who want more than they need. They want all of the lavishes of life at the expense of...
But many pastors preach that to you until you go after the whole hog and the next hog after that. Keep getting hogs. And if people ask you, this is literal preachers, whether that, and remember, we're so close to the United States of America, the influences that are coming out of America with this relentless and perpetual prophets that are keep coming you out and prophesying that who gonna win or who ain't gonna win, who gonna do this, who gonna... That happening both locally and internationally.
True.
And so persons are exposed to these particular things. Persons are exposed to pastors who are telling you that they are of a persuasion that you could love who you want to love and marry who you want to. All of these things are happening right now. So when you're in this kind of a position, where do we know what is right? How do the people know what is the path that can be taken? What is an assured path? Because people, just like Jonestown, commit themselves to what they truly believe in. And if this is a desire for us to be able to get, this is the path where I can get God.
I would say
how can I do this?
The path of least resistance is usually a setup for failure, for destruction, for annihilation. And this is what I talk about, we have to address. We have to address...
It's heavy what you're saying.
Oh, yes, sir. We have to address this
The path of least resistance
is a setup.
Is a setup.
For destruction.
But these people, when they preaching to me about Jesus Christ, they explain to me, even in the Word of God. You see, we can change the conversation now.
Big time.
Even in the Word of God, they say to me,
right?
Choose my burden is, my yoke is easy.
Yeah.
My burden is light.
Yeah.
Right? That's the least resistance.
Well, that is my way of life, or the path that I have for you. When you rely on me, you will find the yoke easy, the burden light. Because, see, proper interpretation is so important. When you go against, remember the encounter with Saul on Damascus Road. He's thinking he's doing the right thing. He's going full force. But Jesus appears to him and says, Paul, why are you kicking against the prick? You're not going to hurt me. You're going to end up hurting yourself. Only damage is going to come to you.
Paul didn't know that he was on a mission. Blinded.
He was blinded in his path.
On the mission.
Yeah.
Of destruction.
Yes. However, he thought he was doing the right thing.
Of course.
Which is why we have...
There are many men.
On these platforms, we have to continue to speak truth.
There are many men in their various capacities, even that sitting in the House of Assembly right now, who didn't necessarily have the right intention, believing that they are on the right path. There are many men who would have chosen various avenues, believing that there are the 12 gates to heaven is a representation that there are many paths to God. There are many men who would introduce different concepts and ideas, rejecting the importance of being able to have faith and subjection and understanding the supremacy of God, and say to you that you are God's unto yourself. There is teaching among the 8-point-some billion people out there that exist far and wide to say to you all manner of things. How do we know that this is the path? And I think that that is one of the questions that is leading to this level of confusion in our society. This liberty, even from a constitutional standpoint, that says the freedom of worship, the freedom of this, the freedom of that, and even this conversation that says, hey, listen, we are not necessarily a Christian nation, but we adhere to Christian values. This is a lot. There is no specificity that being able to speak with strength and reminding us that this is the country where God lived. This is the place that we were called to be.
Well, again, like a voice crying out in the wilderness, I've been speaking to this for years. And those who know my voice and know my message will be able to attest to this. I was saying for years that our country, because of increasing globalization, must firmly decide what our spiritual and philosophical position is. I believe it has already been determined by way of the preamble of our Constitution. Highlight the freedom as much as you want, what those freedoms must submit to in the same preamble is we have chosen to have an abiding respect for the supremacy. That means the last say is his. The supremacy of God, Christian principles, and the rule of law, which does not fight with Christian principles. It encompasses what the Christian principles are all about. Because your seek should not be to offend your brother. It should be to treat him as you treat yourself. So I think our Constitution in its preamble have chosen a path for us, but we have a generation that has come up that don't know Joseph and are trying to reinvent the wheel and move the boundaries. Those who know the boundary marks must speak loudly and say, no, 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 no. We can achieve success without going that way. We don't have to abandon mama. We don't have to chop up our brother and our sister. If you pray and get a relationship with God, he will give you ideas, creative ideas to make you wealthy, because your path is like no one else.
You ain't get to sell no drugs.
No, you don't have to.
Well, let's dive into that. This is a deep conversation that we're having, and it is a really near and dear to my heart as it relates to being able to say to my Bahamian people that there are significant opportunities that exist out there. There's only 400,000 of us. That's a little bit of people. That ain't nothing to talk about. We can do better than this. Quick break, guys. Gonna be right back after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make it a date. Saturday, June 27, 2026, 7 p.m. at Atlantis Paradise Island. It's the Kingdom National Parkinson Foundation's 26th Annual Gala Charity Ball. Cocktails begin at 6:45 p.m. Food prepared by international chefs. Tons of prizes and surprises. Entertainment by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Pop Band, DJ Gary Super Johnson, and the Dynamic Essence Band. Once again, it's Saturday, June 27, 2026, 7 p.m. at Atlantis Paradise Island. If you haven't already purchased your ticket, give us a call at 242-477-3782. That's 242-477-3782. With your help, we can continue to tell those with Parkinson. We are not strong, and I'll be your friend.
Welcome to Practical Principles for Successful Christian Living.
Children know, influence them by telling them that they're never alone. No, never alone. Even when the lightning flash is and all those things happen, that God is with you. And I want you to just stand and give our men a round of applause for the great things that they're doing. Men who are taking care of their children, who are showing them how to live life.
Be blessed.
Well, what about me? What about you? What? Well, I thirsty too, you know. You want to see all the water out there? Well, why you don't give me your water, and then you go try and drink that salt water? You crazy, eh? I ain't the one talking to a dog, you know. Ain't nobody can drink salt water. Then why you won't give it to me? All dogs need fresh, cool water and sufficient shelter from the sun all year round, especially on the beach and during the hot summer months.
Summers are very hot here in the Bahamas, so please make sure all pets have ample, cool, fresh water in proper containers and sufficient shelter from the sun, even on the beach. And make sure all dog houses and kennels have proper ventilation. Let's make it Bahamian to be humane.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas Humane Society and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Count your blessings one by one. Under the theme, Rooted in God's Word, Church of God Cathedral, East Street and Lily of the Valley Corner celebrates a double blessing. 12 years of pastoral anniversary and 35 years in ministry. Join Bishop Carlton and Minister Janessa Stewart and the ZNS Network this Sunday at 11 a.m. for an incredibly grateful and unbelievably blessed time of celebration and thanksgiving.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal, at the check-in counter, at security checkpoints, or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Rundown. I'm Howard Grant. So grateful to be with you. Happy Friday evening. We're having, if you're in a sober position, a deep conversation. I believe it is. I believe it's a crucial conversation, that being able to talk to the psyche and to the spirit of who we are as a people. How do we find ourselves back in there? And you know, often when we're having this conversation, I never believe that I'm talking to 400,000 people. I believe that I'm talking to those persons who will connect with this word, and it'll click in your spirit to activate, to move towards the purpose that you were called to. Because there's only a handful of us. Don't matter how much persons, Martin Luther King stood up, Lyndon Pinden stood up. These are the particular persons who are being activated. And these conversations are important to remind you that we were born like Esther for such a time as this. Let's dive into it. I'm sitting here with none other than Ambassador Devin Road. Ambassador, I want to talk to you about this now. We already didn't talk a great deal about trial tribulation. We talked about the past. We talked about our present position. Now I want to talk futuristically. Right. We've made a significant mention of being able to identify in the House of Assembly what's happening about the superficial conversation that continues to be able to bubble to the surface. A conversation with the greatest humility, in my humble opinion, that is devoid of vision. The vision to be able to identify that there's a root cause. The vision of being able to say that if I was in leadership, what can I do to be able to rectify the root cause that causes one generation after another to fall in the exact same hole? How do we fix this? There's been a lot of patchwork done, both literally and proverbially. There's been a lot of things done and said from a manifesto standpoint, being able to write these particular things down, but the tangibility thereof. We don't necessarily see those things. There are tangibles and intangibles. We are distant in all forms and fronts. Talk to me about vision going forward for the country.
Vision is critical. Habakkuk 2:4, God speaks to the prophet and says, write the vision down, make it plain, so that others who read it, may run with it, which means carry the weight of the vision. So you need to be inspired with an original idea, a creative thought of whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a manager in somebody's business. You need to have that original thought that has the potential to excite the desires of others so that they invest in what you express. Now, let me say this very controversial statement. You want me? I usually.
Hold on, you don't get controversial.
You usually provoke me.
Provocation.
And I resist usually. But yeah, I feel it necessary to say this. I think our country is too dependent on the political arm of the nation. too dependent to the extent that there's a large group of people who it is almost as if their brain turns off if their party is not in power. And this is thousands, and it's sad. I'm not trying to be insultive, but I'm saying we have to move beyond that, because we're pretty much getting consistency regardless of the colors that are in. And that's not speaking to them in a negative light. I'm just saying it is what it is. There's a system that's in place. There are a few people who get in there, and they make the way kind of straight for them and a few others. But the collective of our nation needs to realize that the world is an open field now. You can literally sit, as we are doing. We're in our national station. However, our national station has gotten the wisdom to go on the internet, so the world literally can see us here having a conversation about the Bahamas. You could do the same thing in your bedroom. You could do it on a beach. You could do it in a park. That's just an idea. The world is an open field because of the internet, because of technology. We need to start putting our ideas out there so that we can attract investment and finances from outside, even to the exclusion of our government. Now, I don't say you just leave the government alone, let it handle itself. You need to keep watchmen and eyes need to stay on the government to make sure that they are making the provisions of services, equality for all persons who are here to thrive in their individual abilities. That's their job. But beyond that, we need to stop being lazy, stop looking for handouts, stop looking for resources from this color or that color, and say, what has God given me that can serve the world? Not Baintown, not Coconut Grove. What do I have that can serve the world? And how do I present it to them?
Well,
does that make sense?
Of course, while you step into your controversy for the very first time, I want to say welcome, right? I want to say welcome first and foremost. And secondly, I want to say something that you said, too dependent. Yeah. Too dependent is crazy, because after the dependency that they would have had on the UBP, right, or the colonial powers that existed, and the black man being able to come in, which I often refer to as the neo-colonialist, right? Because it's a new colonial concept.
It is.
There was a handing over. Now, this is a weighty handing over. Mm-hmm. And whilst we would have genuflected to our colonial masters of a lighter hue at one point, we don't have that kind of a patience and tolerance with those colonial masters that look like us. Yep. So we expect instant gratification from these people because you didn't been in this position. And so that too dependent, you can also blame our first governance. Whilst they did well in terms of liberty, access, opportunity, independence, so forth and so on, their language, it was seared into the marketing of campaigns in this country with an expectation that political parties should take care of you. When they say things like, we're doing all the heavy lifting. Listen, I ain't around the PLP. I'm just telling you the language that existed in yesteryear that has not shifted. How am I talking? When they say we're doing the heavy lifting, we're wiping all the tears from every eye, this conditioning has spilled generationally in this country. And people, especially the average people, oh God, I'm getting deep. The average people who are looking for liberty, access, opportunity, comfort, and being able to get out of the muck and mire of poverty. They're looking for a black Moses. You ain't see what's happening here? This dependency was conditioned to the people. And we understand one thing. The one thing that liberated Jamaicans, that liberated Africans, West Africa, East Africa, North, South, other spaces, that liberated India, that liberated all these particular education. And we're not placing enough emphasis on understanding. We're still in this rhythm of reading, writing, arithmetic, which is regurgitation, not into the comprehension and the ability to understand and make decisions accordingly. Our curriculum needs to reflect this. Our curriculum needs to be able to reflect empowerment. But if we keep ourselves in this gang and brethren mentality, and we are now under the umbrella of someone else's safety, we'll never be able to find ourselves in the position to move forward. It's been a great conversation, but I want to thank you so very kindly. I think we can be able to do more. I always enjoy...
Yes, it has to be a part two to the same. Same
Always
topic.
enjoy doing that.
Yes,
Ladies
sir.
and gentlemen, that does it for us here at The Rundown. Be sure you stay locked in. ZNS Network for the Bahamas Tonight at 11 o'clock. It's your final newscast in the country with the latest in news and information from Corvell Piper. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm Howard Grant. Thanks so much for joining us.
That was quick.
After 66 steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
Fell away, long for your natural army of one. I'll bet the house before I look at the cards on the table.